Good morning and welcome. I'm Janda. I'm the worship associate for today, and we've got a small but powerful group here, so welcome. We've been chatting and having a good time getting to know and catch up with one another, so now you get to do it again. I'm going to give you 48 seconds if you want to chat with each other and then come back.
It makes no difference to me. Whatever makes you happy. That's what she said to me. That makes perfect sense. Yeah, I'll be happy.
Great. If you would remain standing, and let's do our opening affirmation. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humankind in fellowship. For these high purposes do we unite in worship. You may be seated. So as we light our chalice this morning, I want to share these words. What if sometimes it's not about a light in the darkness? What if sometimes it's about sparking potential into possibility and possibility into existence? What if sometimes the flame that burns in the chalice of our faith is nothing less than the ember of hope and nothing more than the love set ablaze? What if sometimes all we need to do is follow the flame, one among scores, hundreds, thousands of steadily flickering flames across the land and among so many peoples, on the way to justice and into the land of peace? What if we dared to kindle that chalice? So this morning we're going to have a story for all ages shared by Kathy Cornett.
Good morning. My story for all ages is about a family that's falling apart. And we'll probably hear more about that later. Emily and David and the kids are in their home. They're having a dispute of some kind, I don't know what. But here's how it goes. Emily says, "Maybe that's the problem. We built a house, not a home." Her husband David looked down, the weight of the years pressing on him. And the kids? We'll work something out, Emily said, her voice breaking. Max let out a small, helpless sob. Lily glared at both parents, anger burning behind her grief. You said we were a team. You said families don't quit. David knelt beside his daughter, his face drawn and tired. Sometimes love changes, he said, trying to meet her eyes, but it doesn't disappear. Outside, thunder rolled, a deep, distant sound that seemed to echo what no one would say. The clock ticked past another minute of silence. Have you ever been in a conversation like that? By morning, half of the house would be empty. But the echo of that night, the shouting, the tears, the things left unsaid, would linger in every room, a quiet reminder of what used to be whole. In the corner, their teenage daughter, Lily, wiped her eyes with the sleeve of her sweatshirt. So that's it, she whispered. You're just done? Her younger brother, Max, sat cross-legged on the floor beside her, clutching the family dog as if it were an anchor. What happens to us? He nervously asked. No one answered right away. The air felt heavy, as if the whole world was holding its breath. Emily turned toward the window, the streetlights blurring through her tears. I'll be moving into my sister's place for now, just until things settle down. This family needs help.
Thank you, Kathy. Yeah. So at this time, we'd like to share joys and concerns. If you have something you'd like to share, come up to the sand bowl and use a candle and share with us either a joy or a concern.
Where'd they go?
We don't know.
Another one. All right. I'm Claudia, and I have two concerns. One, all we know is what we read in the papers and hear on the radio or see on TV, and there's less information about the fact that the killing is still going on in Gaza. It has not stopped, and we need to stay mindful of that, and the NGOs are still trying to get food and water and medical supplies in there, and Israel's trying to prevent it. That's my first concern. And then my second concern is poverty. If you watched Sunday Morning this morning, they did a section on people in poverty who are just one paycheck away from being homeless, and how it's almost impossible to get out of the grasp of homelessness, and how a lot of these big hotels, motels for the most part, that rent by the week, are exploiting the poor people who can never get an apartment because their credit rating is bad. And they're paying more in the week by week cost than they would be in an apartment. And we need to keep those people in mind. And I wish there was some way that we could maybe as a group help a family. I don't know. You can only help usually one or two people at a time. But poverty is really prevalent right now, as we know by the food banks and the problems that they're having. So let's please think about Gaza and about the poor in America.
Going for the rainbow again. I'm Lena. Maybe. We did it. Okay. I have a joy and an announcement. My joy is my surgery went well. Thanks to the caring committee for the Get Well card. That was very kind of y'all. And hopefully I'm going to be able to take this off and move around here in the next couple of days. And my announcement, in lieu of our Social Justice Committee meeting today, we are going to instead have Jotaria. And we have got 13 bags of prizes plus a few extra. So if you can and you want to, come join this cultural event. We will have Miss Micah here. She will be in her drag, and she will be doing the one, she will be our reader, our presenter today. So from 2 to 4 today, here in Chandler Hall. Thank y'all.
I'm Paul, and I have a joy. Today is the birthday of my wife, Linda Cook Cates. She's. I'm not going to tell you how old she is, but if I say 82, maybe you can figure it out.
When they walked in this morning, I said, "Happy birthday." She said, "How do you know?" I said, "Facebook told me." She's like, "How did Facebook know?" Hey, y'all. Hey, dudes. Light a candle. My name is Richard Fennell. This, and I apologize for all of you knowledge seekers who have already heard this, but this is an I-601A application packet for the U.S. Immigration Services. This is just one step in what has been a 2.5-year long journey so far, and this is one of the most crucial steps because my wife here is currently in unlawful presence status. We've made our way through the process to get that corrected, and our next step is to leave the country and attend her consulate interview in Honduras. But when we leave, she will automatically be banned from re-entry because of her status, which is weird. Like, if we're fixing her status, but you know, whatever, government. So to prevent that from happening, we have to file an application for a waiver to prevent her from being banned. And to prevent her from being banned, I have to prove that I will experience extreme hardship in her absence. They don't care about her at all. They just care about me. And so in order to prove that, I've had to submit quite a lot of documentation, 250 pages worth of documentation, to prove, hopefully to them, that life will suck without my wife. And so I am reasonably confident it will be approved. About 80% of these are approved if you do the work. But what I am gathering, what I'm still trying to gather are character letters on her behalf. So anybody who would like to submit one, just a single paragraph saying, "Brenda's a nice lady," It could be just as simple as that. If you've had any interaction with her or she's helped you with anything and you want to put down a couple of kind words, that would be great. I have templates that I printed out, and you can fill those out as soon as you're able. And if I could get them back by next Sunday, that would be great. And I just want to hit them with as much evidence as possible, so that they just have no choice but to look at this and just say stamp approved.
Oh, we used to be a free country, didn't we? I think. So we're going to have a music selection at this time, I believe. Yes, okay.
You can hold my hand when you need to let go. I can be a mountain when you're feeling valley low. I can be a street light showing you the way.
Very nice. We have another reading now by Kathy Cornett. Thank you, Kathy.
This is a place to begin again. In every community, there are doors that open quietly without fanfare. Behind one such door is Martha's home, a shelter for women and children who have known homelessness, hardship, heartbreak, and inside it there is warmth, not only from the heat of the kitchen or the quilts on the beds, but from the steady flame of compassion. A shelter like this is more than a roof, it's a promise. It says to a mother who has lost her footing, "You are not forgotten." It says to a child who has slipped too many strange places, "You are safe now." It says to a community, "We are all responsible for one another." Unitarian Universalism calls us to honor the inherent worth and dignity of every person. That principle lives in every bowl of soup ladled, every bedtime story read aloud, every night a family sleeps without fear. Martha's Home and others like it remind us that justice is not abstract. It's built one room, one meal, one kind word at a time. When we support shelters, we affirm the sacred truth that no one stands outside the circle of care. We become together the hands that rebuild, the hearts that listen, the light that welcomes the weary traveler home.
Amen. So let's take just a few minutes for some prayer, silence, meditation, whatever you do. Just a little bit of quiet time to think about where we're headed here. Okay, shall we gather in our thoughts and welcome our speaker today? We have Cindy Winia, who's going to tell us a little bit about Laura before we introduce her.
Good morning. Laura Boyd is a compassionate leader and case manager at Martha's Home in Amarillo, Texas, with over 19 years of experience in the nonprofit field. Her work has spanned women's prisons, sober living programs, mental health and IDD services, outreach, and homeless shelters, all centered around helping women rebuild their lives with dignity and faith. Through her work at Martha's Home, Laura witnessed both the resilience of women overcoming hardship and the growing need for more spaces of healing and preparation. With over 300 women and children on the waiting list, she founded Ruth's Redemption Project, a faith-based initiative to close the gap. The project will provide a safe place where women can receive counseling, classes, training, therapy, childcare, and resources while they wait for a bed. This will allow them to heal and prepare mentally, physically, and emotionally for long-term success. Laura's heart for ministry is rooted in restoration to ensure every woman and child knows that redemption is possible and hope is never out of reach. I'm really pleased to introduce to you Laura Boyd, my colleague and friend.
Thank you so much.
She read my whole speech, y'all. I'm done. So I call this, again, thank you guys for having me. Restoration, Hope, and Closing the Gaps for Women and Children. Good morning, everyone. My name is Laura Boyd. I'm truly honored to be here with you today. Thank you for welcoming me and my husband and my daughter and giving me the space to share something that's very close to my heart. The journey of working with women and children who have faced homelessness, abuse, trauma, and an uphill battle of rebuilding their lives. For the past few years, I served as a case manager at Martha's Home, a local women's shelter here in Amarillo. And through that work, I've seen not only brokenness, but although also breathtaking resilience. What I do at Martha's Home. At Martha's Home, my role goes far beyond paperwork and case notes. Every woman who walks through our doors carries a story. Some are escaping domestic violence. Some have lost everything to addiction. Others are simply trying to give their children a better life. My job is to walk beside them. Not ahead of them, not behind them, right beside them. I help them set goals for stability, securing housing, finding employment, connecting to education and recovery programs, and rebuilding self-worth. But more than that, I try to help them rebuild hope, because when a woman has lost everything, the hardest thing to find again isn't money or housing. It's the belief in yourself. I've seen women come in afraid to look anyone in the eye, but over time, they start to laugh again, hold their heads higher, and begin to dream about their future. That's what keeps me showing up every day. What I've noticed is that there is a lot of gaps. While I've seen so many success stories, I've also seen something that's deeply burdened my heart: the gaps. Even after a woman completes the program at Martha's Home, when she's doing everything right, there's still major challenges waiting for her outside those doors. There is a lack of affordable housing. There's a limited access to mental health care. Jobs don't always provide child care or transportation. And often there is no safe, supportive community to walk with her after she leaves. I realized that too many women were surviving and not thriving. They were being released back into the same environment that broke them in the first place. Then that realization planted a seed in my heart, and that seed became Ruth's Redemption's Project. The birth of Ruth's Redemption Project was born out of a desire to close the gaps. We have 300 women and children waiting on our wait list to get a bed. Where they're waiting, I can only imagine, but I do know that they're a very vulnerable state, and more trauma comes with that. More addiction comes with that. Being lost comes with that. Losing their children comes with that. And just losing themselves altogether comes with that. So I birthed Ruth's Redemption Project because I want to build a restoration center where they can wait. There is no safe place for women and children to wait while they're waiting for a bed here. So that leaves them in more dangerous, more trauma situations. And by that time, trying to keep their life together and try to do right to keep their kids, they end up losing their kids. So now we have them in the system as well. So it's just like a domino effect. The name Ruth comes from the Bible. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that story, but I'll just tell you a little bit. She loses everything. She loses her husband. She loses her father-in-law. She loses her brother-in-law. She loses a lot. But she doesn't just go lay in bed and be depressed about it. She goes and puts in the work. And that's what I want to do. I want to build these women up and let them know it ain't just going to fall out of the sky, although it sounds nice, but you got to put in the work. So let's work on you. There is a lot of mental health barriers here, especially if you don't have insurance. And if you're about to want to kill yourself, they'll ask you 150 questions before they take you even serious. So I want to focus that in this center. I have a lady that I'm working with who is a licensed clinical social worker, and they will be getting all this help. Because what happens is, it's real easy to tell a homeless woman to go ahead and go get a job or go to school, and she's not mentally stable. So what we're doing is setting them up for failure. And then people just don't want to deal with them anymore. So if they get mentally correct, that allows them to get physically and emotionally correct as well. And then Childcare is another big issue here. There is a wait. Although everyone can say go apply for CCMS, there's a wait list. It's not always opened. And there's 500 other people applying for the same services. So with this center, so it'll give mental health and it'll give childcare. That way these women can focus on themselves 24/7, not just when the time is right. Because taking care of children and they get sick, that takes from the women too. So do women really ever get to take care of themselves? I say no, because there's a lot with that. We always put ourselves last. So those are the main focuses of Ruth's Redemption. I just don't want to give housing. I want to give restoration. It's not about helping women find their identity, purpose, and confidence again. It is. It's about practical tools, job readiness, budgeting, parenting, emotional wellness. So with that, we're already partnering with Cal Farley, and they have a lot of parenting classes. And Region 16 is going to help me do the daycare. I am also going to go and to licensing classes so I could get that daycare up and running. So this is really going to work. I know it is. If it doesn't, I'll pivot and try something else. I'm not a what-if person. I'm not. I mean business. Because when a woman knows who she is, she begins to walk differently. I know because I've been there. I've let my kids down several times. And shame and guilt, it overcomes you. And you just feel like giving up. But I couldn't. I couldn't let them down anymore. I got tired of it. So I got my stuff together. But I know what it feels like to be a single mom. I know what it is to have mental health. I know what it is to be an addict. I know what it is to be uneducated. I know what it is to overcome it, though. It takes a lot of work and will. I want to be that woman that I needed when I was down like them. So that's why I want this multi-building campus. I just don't want it to end there. I want it to go on to the men, and that's where my husband comes in. My husband is a very awesome man. He's very talented. He works hard. He has all these talents to share with these young men, or men basically, just that they have a purpose for their lives too. I don't want them to feel left out. I want my husband to share his gifts with them too so they can take care of their families and just restore all the way around. So that's for the women and that's for the men. But like I said, we want a mental health wellness center. That way we can reach them where they're at, even their children with all the traumas and stuff. So with that being said, I want to work with St. Francis as well. They've already asked me to help case management and trainings. I created trainings to earn this money to open this center. I'm not just going around and asking for donations, although it's really nice. I am putting in the work myself. I've wrote books. I'm selling those books. One's called God's Script for My Life, and one is called Becoming Her, because all that money's going towards this center, because I really want it to be successful. But what that means is we're going to go without that wait list at Martha's home and have them come to this center so that they can work on themselves while their bed is going to be opened for them, and just make it smoother, because Martha's home used to be a 90-day shelter, y'all. Some women are staying there 9 months, because about 20% of these women, they have their driver's license. 20% of women, maybe even less, have a driver's license. Some of them don't even have SNAP benefits when they come in. So I'm playing catch up, and so it takes even longer, especially if they don't have childcare to make all their appointments. And then we tell them to get a job, right? But they don't have the childcare. So then they lose that job, and then we're back to the same where we started. So that's another thing these women deal with. Like the mother who arrived at Martha's home with nothing but a duffel bag and her daughter, she cried for the first time because she hadn't slept in a safe place for months. Today she's working full-time, she's paying rent, she owns a car, and she's going to school. We have women that are attending Amarillo College. We have women now attending university, women's Arlington, and then there's another university for women, correct, in Dallas? Okay, she's going there. But they're working on themselves. They're getting stuff done, and it takes a village. It takes a village to get all of this done. I am a case manager. I am the only case manager there, and I have 150 clients, women and children. I'm doing the best I can, so I created women coalitions. I created trainings and all this stuff just to build that networking with other people so we can collaborate to meet their needs. I have to be very, very, very talented. That's how I met Cindy, was through the women's coalitions. And mental health is one of the biggest things that I want to focus on to get these women where they need to be, because a lot of them are like really, really, really lost and way out there. And it's hard to earn their trust and bring them back. So that's where I'm at right now. And why the community matters, the truth is we can't do this work alone. Every woman who gets a chance does so because the community believed in her. The partnerships between nonprofits, churches, local businesses, and compassionate people like you are what makes transformation possible. When we work together, when we combine empathy with action, we create a ripple effect that reaches generations. Because a mother heals, her children begin to heal. And when families heal, communities heal. That's the heart behind everything I do, both at Martha's Home and Ruth's Redemption Project. So today I want to leave you with this. Healing is possible, redemption is real, and change begins when someone believes she's worth it. Thank you for allowing me to share my heart and my journey with you. I love to answer any questions. If you guys have any questions, I don't know, do you guys do a Q&A here? Yes. Okay. There's another thing I wanted to say too, with that Ruth's Redemption. You're speaking my language, girl. I'm doing a loteria fundraiser in January to help raise funds for Ruth's Redemption Project so we can get this resurrection center open for them so they could have a safe place to go. I am working on a building, and I'm praying that it happens. I meet with a trustee of a building this week. So please pray for that. I'm also I came up with this idea. I said, there's over 200,000 people in Amarillo. There's over 400,000 people in the Panhandle. There's over 300 million people in the United States of America. Imagine if everybody donated $1 a month. How much money would that be? It's amazing. I didn't think it was going to be that much, but I did the math, and I did it over and over again. I asked several people to do it too. But I'm doing that type of fundraiser for this Ruth's Redemption. I left packets. I don't know where you guys put them at.
They're in the counter as you come in and go out.
Yes, please. I like the stories you guys shared before this too, because it all goes together. So, does anyone have questions?
Of course. 2 questions. First one, what are the criteria for someone getting into Martha's Home? And second, do you have your Ruth's program incorporated into a nonprofit organization?
Okay, so the requirements for Martha's Home, you have to be sober for 90 days. So some people are coming in dirty. We have to turn them away. But it's sad though, because they have their children. We work with them to get that sobriety done so they can come back. They have to call every Monday if they're on a wait list, and they do call faithfully. but we could never give them a date on when the bed's going to be available. So that was a big eyebrow raise for me, because I'm like, where are they at? It's sad. There's no safe place for women and children here. And other centers that do allow women and their children to stay the night, they have to be out by 6 in the morning. Snow or whatever. Can you imagine? That kid got to go to school. That kid, I have teenage kids that get picked up from Martha's Home, because there is a wonderful, it's called FIT, Families in Transitions for Homeless Kids that are in school. The bus will pick them up. But there's teenage kids that they're like, I don't want to get dropped off at a homeless center. It's sad. They get bullied and picked, let's be honest. And yes, I do have a 501c3. I got it in July. Yes.
I was wondering if you had a Facebook page or a GoFundMe or anything like that for donations.
Yes, I have a Facebook page. I also have a website. It's Ruth's Redemption Project. And I don't have a GoFundMe, but I have a Ziffy, because it doesn't charge like GoFundMe does.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Is that on the document?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
And then is volunteer information on there as well?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect.
She asked if I had a GoFundMe and a Facebook page, and I said I don't have a GoFundMe, I have a Ziffy, because it doesn't charge a big chunk of money. And then she asked if we do volunteers. Yes.
Let's hear it for her.
I think I did my 20 minutes today.
I don't know. Okay. You're good. We're happy. Thank you. Oh boy, we learned a lot, didn't we? Think of some of those women who really need our help. We have a separate fund that we give donations out of, so it doesn't affect this particular moment in time, but we'll be in touch, I guarantee you. So at this time, we'd like to pass the plate, and those of us who are able to share with funds to keep this place running, keep all of this technology and this shelter and all of that. So if you would. If you haven't read this thing on the back of your worship order, be sure to read that. It's very touching. Thanks to April, she always gets good stuff on here. So we have Hoteria this afternoon, 2 to 4. Social justice is just awesome. I appreciate them so much after struggling with it the last few years. We're in great shape. If y'all were here when Miss Micah spoke to us a year or two ago, you'll recognize her. She's just a lively soul. She's just awesome. And she's like that tall. So, I'm sorry, somebody said.
And to those who understand, Hoteria might sound a bit vulgar, but I assure you it's a very wholesome and fun game.
Okay. Yeah. And lots of cultural references and stuff like that, I think. Yeah, so it'd be fun. Come if you can this afternoon. So we've got 2 p.m. today, ARFA Reproductive Rights Town Hall. I didn't know about this. Sunday today at 2 o'clock at Golden Light Cantina on 6th. Representatives from ACLU of Texas and Texas Equal Access Fund. One of the things that's close to my heart, our regional abortion fund. So if y'all are free, go check that out and see what's going on. Transgender Day of Remembrance is Thursday. San Jacinto Neighborhood Community Center. I have not been there. If y'all haven't, well, we need to show up. Neighborhood Community Center, 202 Louisiana. Then Friendsgiving Dinner, Thursday. That's on Thanksgiving Day. San Jacinto Neighborhood Community Center also. So I guess they're having...
That's from 4 to 10 p.m.
4 to 10. Okay, good. A lot of people have plans for lunch, and then this would be an evening gathering. So very cool. Well, we got lots of cool stuff today. Family movie and potluck next on 2 Sundays from now. And y'all can read all that. Short film, Mac and the Spirit of the Woods for 8 minutes, honoring Native American and Indigenous Peoples Heritage Month. And then the youth will have homemade Three Sisters soup. You can bring things. And then a feature film, 1 hour and 40 minutes, Disney's Soul. Don't know about that. Some of our recurring events, I'll just let y'all read that, but
Janda, the book club is meeting this Tuesday. We're sort of out of
oh, okay. This Tuesday, if you're interested in or commonly go to the book club. I had to quit going. I read too slow. I can't keep up.
And on November the 30th, it's going to be Sam Barnett talking about his
Okay, I'm sorry.
his food bank. What is the name of it, Lena?
It's just a food pantry underneath ATAG. It's a part of the Amarillo Transgender.
Okay, it's a food pantry, but they're feeding a lot of people, I understand.
It is a low barrier food pantry.
Okay,
So
low barrier food.
we don't even need an ID. The only thing that we absolutely have to have is a zip code, and that's just for statistics. But, what, on Friday, we had all kinds of stuff. They're getting in a ton of macaroni and cheese because rice is kind of limited right now, but we get breads, we get bakery items, we had tons of cheeses.
Good. Well, he's going to be here on the 30th to talk about that
Yes,
pantry.
yes.
Cool.
Okay, I'll make sure and get that updated next week. I had no idea who was here November 30th, and I'm just always hoping for an all-you-can-eat cheese fest.
If you don't know Sam Burnett, you need to come get to know Sam Burnett. He's amazing. He just has his finger in all kinds of pies. And very, very important in our community. Okay, I think, any other announcements? I think we're good. Okay, we're going to extinguish the chalice. As we extinguish this chalice flame, may the warmth of its light remain within us, guiding our steps and our hearts. Let us carry forward the strength of this community, the courage to speak truth, and the hope that transformation is possible. In each breath we take, may we remember that the work of love, justice, and healing is ours to continue, both here and beyond these walls. Go in peace with the light of this gathering to illuminate your way. Please stand. Share the closing song. Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, be like the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings hour, touch and move our lives until we come again together. You're dismissed.